Hi, hello. I am the Queen of Daggers and I hold the cards. Now, I wanted to do something a little different tonight, this evening. I wanted to do a nightly spread, a nightly card reading for folks, for the general collective. This isn't for any specific sign, this is for whomever happens to see it. And because it's a general, it may or may not resonate with you. Take what does, leave the rest. Roles can be reversed, etc., etc. There's no gender in tarot. It is all, you know, there are energies of masculine and feminine, but we have that within all of us. So, as a non-binary reader, I assure you, gendering doesn't really apply. The pronouns I use just kind of come up on the fly. So, point being, we have a special guest, that is Babs. He is my bearded dragon. You know, every witch deserves a dragon. But let's get into this. So instead of pulling from the Lenormand for context like I do for individual sign readings or personal readings, I decided to take my Neon Genesis Evangelion deck. It is official. I love it. It's fantastic. I wanted it. I've been, you know, foaming at the mouth over it for like 8 years, and I finally got it. So very exciting for me. Very exciting for me. Success. I didn't really pull it. I picked out a jumper, or it jumped at me, I guess. It picked itself. And then I pulled from the bottom of the deck to figure out, you know, what our overall theme is. I got 2 hours of sleep, please bear with me here. And then, you know, figure out from that where we're going here and pull from the bottom of the deck and see what's going on there. So let us begin, my dears. So we got Shinji Ikari, of course, as the Hanged Man. That is our first card, that is our jumper. And then we have Nagisa Kaoru as our reversed Hierophant. Interesting. So it seems as if folks are going into the state of contemplation because they're sick of these traditional ways of what they've been dealing with for so long, these experiences that always seem to feel the same. As the Hierophant can represent tradition, it can also represent someone who is highly revered when they speak. Now, in the reverse, it may feel as if you've been silenced, and thus you're silencing yourself. This time by choice. So, again, this is a general read. Take what resonates, drop the rest, give a like if it makes some sense to you, hit the little subscribe button and the little bell, and the next time the cards yell at me and I interpret for you, you'll be the first to know. And you can leave a comment, you can tell me like your favorite snack, where you're from. I'm from Rhode Island in the US. You can tell me the worst joke you've ever heard, or just say hi, hello. So, just as a quick reminder from that aside, we've got the Hangman and the Hierophant in reverse, so very interesting cards, I think. Now into our main spread here, into what's happening, what's going on in your brain here. We have the King of Cups upright, to the Moon in reverse, to the Three of Wands, to the Three of Cups in reverse. Okay, so that's our first row here. So it seems as if you're in this particular position of, say, you're established in whatever, you know, scene you happen to be in your friend group, etc. You're highly respected, okay? And you appear to have your emotions in check. You appear to be the master of those. People look to you as someone who is very dependable, reliable, who they can recognize as someone who can lead within the court, so to speak. We have the Moon in reverse, so you're seeing through some illusions that maybe you've even put upon yourself, or your vision has been clouded by everybody putting you on this pedestal, or just in general from, you know, trying so hard to have a mastery of your emotions, and now you're seeing maybe you don't have a mastery at all, and it's time for you to go on a journey here. You're realizing that you need to go step out and figure out what's really going on, you know, figure out yourself, figure out what does make you happy, what emotions out there will suit you, or just what experiences will help. I mean, you've gone into this hangman position to really meditate on this and to figure out what's going on, and I believe that that's a large part of your journey, because if you see here, we have the Three of Cups in reverse. You're sick of the same old song and dance. It no longer serves you. You are so tired of these tedious celebrations where it's become more of a chore than a joy. Or maybe it's the things that usually bring you joy, the things you would normally celebrate and have a good time with your friends over, or just in general by yourself. They don't quite hit the same these days, okay? It's not doing it for you anymore. You need to go off. You need to find something new. You need to reflect on yourself and get away from what you've been, what it feels like you've been trapped in. These traditions, this song and dance, this position, this hobby, activity, whatever it may be. Apply this to your own unique situation, of course. You know your life much better than I do, certainly. You need to break away from it. It's only hurting you at this point, because we have the Hierophant in reverse again, driving this home. Now, what interests me is, hello, Babs, are you trying to help me read? I appreciate it. We have the Seven of Pentacles sideways. So either you're looking at all the work you've done, and maybe you're sitting there like, yes, I've reached this point in my life. I have this sort of bounty. I have this abundance, but is this abundance making me happy? I don't know. Or you're looking at this and you're seeing all of this was for nothing. You've put in all this hard work, and it feels like you didn't do anything. Quite frankly, it could be that way in general. So you could look at this hard work and you could think, yes, I've done something, or you could think, what was even the point? And there's only one way to find that out, and that's to go on this journey. We have the Magician in reverse next, and now the Magician upright is one of my favorite cards, and it's a card that's been coming up in a lot of readings lately, which, brings me great joy. The Magician, traditionally, upright at least, has the power to transform anything, to transform his experiences, his life, her life, their life, etc., or anything around them, really. They have all the tools at their disposal. They have their pentacle, they have their wand, they have their cup, they have their sword, and they have this eternal knowledge right there. They know, maybe not all, but certainly more than enough to connect with the cosmic consciousness, to really find themselves in a position where they understand how to transform where they are and turn it into something beautiful. They are the alchemists who figured out how to turn anything into gold, what everyone has dreamed of. But you were the reverse magician. You feel like you really don't have any of these tools. You feel like this knowledge in your head, the knowledge that you have, is useless. It's not serving you. It's not getting you anywhere. It's not helping you celebrate. You're just sitting on this throne and you feel like you've accomplished nothing. And you're seeing through this illusion of, yes, I'm here, I'm the master of my emotions, nothing can stop me, I am truly the king. And you're realizing, no one is ever truly the king of their emotions. We will always have to do our shadow work. We always have to find new ways to understand ourselves, as we are constantly changing. And you're starting to recognize that change, but because of this change, I think you're starting to lose sight of yourself. So this is a very interesting read. This is a very evening shadow work read. I may do more of these in the future. It's not even 9 o'clock, and I love where this is going. I really do. Now, from that we go into the Three of Swords in reverse, which is not quite what I would have expected from all of this, but it does make sense when we consider this journey that you're considering going on to. You've picked your wand, these two wands I've always enjoyed, as they look like a gateway. And what is more magic than a gateway? You're moving forward with something. You're finally moving. You're getting up out of this seat where quite frankly, that king has always, in my opinion, looked absolutely miserable despite being, the king of his emotions and, abundant in joy. I've never quite seen that in his face myself, and his cup always looks empty to me. And I find that unfortunate for him, especially in this context. But it seems as though you're ready to go on this journey to really find yourself and find who you are at this point, and not who you've been, because we all change. And I think now you're starting to embrace it, because you've been in this hangman energy. You've been thinking about this for a while. This has been on your mind for a while, and at one point it was breaking your heart to just stay trapped almost in this idea of who you are, because it's not who you are, it's who everyone thinks you are. It's who you feel you have to be, because everybody thinks that's who you are. Everybody wants you to be that person. Sometimes in our friend groups, or in relationships, or in our work, in anywhere really, in any kind of subculture or group of people, and we have this in reverse, so clearly you don't feel satisfied when you're surrounded by people right now. They see us only as what they want to. They see an idealized version of us. Sometimes they put us on a pedestal without even realizing it. And that hurts, because we begin to feel like no one actually sees us for who we are. And you are finally starting to see yourself for who you are. And you're realizing, maybe you haven't known for a long time. Maybe you haven't had the resources. Maybe you haven't been looking within yourself in some time to really understand who you are and who you're going to be. And so, by starting your journey, you're starting your healing. You are getting out of that energy. And I think that's where this evening is leading. I think you may be doing some shadow work, you may be doing some contemplation, or you may be realizing that this is something that in general you have to do. You may finally be realizing that this Hierophant energy here is not serving you, that it's time to reflect, it's time to journey, it's time to possibly even journal and see through these illusions of who you feel like you're supposed to be, to find out who you are, and to heal yourself in doing so. And I think that's beautiful, and I'm very proud of you for choosing to do this. Now. We go to the bottom of the deck. Now, most people tend to pick between 1 and 3 cards from the bottom of the deck. I do things a little differently, okay? I see the bottom of the deck as an epilogue. It's where your story is going to take you. It's almost, at times, your advice spread for this situation. It's what's next. It's okay, this is where I am, now what do I do? And you can find out through this, and it's not reversed, I swear. So that's what I love about the bottom of the deck. It's never served me wrong in this regard. And we all have different ways of reading our cards, and we all have our different interpretations of them. And I love that. I love that about tarot, and I love that about reading tarot. And, listening to other people read tarot. It's absolutely fascinating to me. So, without further ado, you have this cup to offer, okay? You're sitting here with this cup, and while it seems empty there is something in it. And it's overflowing with this emotion. But at this point, I don't think that emotion is joy. I don't think that emotion is necessarily love, although it can be finding that love for yourself. Given you are getting out of this energy and this is what's next, I think you're focusing on self-love, you're focusing on filling your own cup, because you know that nobody else can fill it for you, and it feels like you're just emptying it and emptying it and emptying it every time you try to be who everyone wants you to be or who everyone thinks you are, when you know that's not who you are anymore. And this especially comes to me when we have the Ten of Cups in reverse. This is supposed to be like your ultimate emotional fulfillment, your true celebration, the end of the road where everything feels okay, you finally feel okay. You feel fantastic. You are ready to share. You are watching this beautiful rainbow that's coming out from these clouds that you may have experienced, and you know everything's going to be all right. Right now you're not doing that. You don't feel that way. Right now you don't have all of these cups to share. You're exhausted by this. You're exhausted by trying to share all these cups and having these cups forced upon you because they're not who you are, and they're not what you really feel, and they're not what you really think. And you can't do it anymore. And after a certain point, when people idealize you so much, or when they force you into this kind of box, it's as if they don't know you at all. And they have nothing to offer you, because what they try to offer is to someone else, to who you used to be, to who they assume you are, or to whom they want you to be, to fit into their needs as a person, emotionally, and in general, frankly. They see you in a way you never see yourself, and that, again, it's painful. It's painful, and it can cause us to lose ourselves and feel like we have nothing, feel like we are nothing, we are nobody, we aren't the person they want us to be or the person they think we are. So we feel like we have nothing truly to offer unless we're trying to pretend to be someone else. And you're sick of pretending. You're over it. You're done. It's time to be authentic. It's time to move forward. It's time to focus on your cup and not the cup that they're trying to force on you. So these cups, they don't serve you anymore. They're empty. They're not even pouring out. These people are not being reciprocal when it comes to an emotional aspect, when it comes to even friendship or love or general camaraderie, whether it's your family, a friend group, the work situation. Apply it to your own unique situation. I'm sure you're the one who understands what this is about right here, who this is about, who these people are, who you just don't feel like you fit in with anymore. And that takes us to the 9 of Pentacles, which intrigues me. You have all of this. I mean, you have an abundance, and you may be in a fantastic financial position. I certainly hope you are. But Pentacles are also our resources, and, in certain cases, I do consider emotions to be resources, as it is something you can give and you can take, much like money, much like property, much like belongings. But I think you're sick of giving all of that away. You're really sick of giving all of that away. You're sick of being seen as this beautifully dressed, gilded person with nothing but abundance, who's perfect, who is on the brink of absolute wish fulfillment. Because that's not how you feel whatsoever. It really isn't. And you want to put the work in to learn who you really are. You want to put the work in to find yourself, to go on this journey, and to forget about what they want you to be. You want to work on yourself. Hanged Man. You really want to work on yourself. You want to know who you are, not who you were. Okay? And I think that's important. I think we all need to do that sometimes. I've done it myself many, many times, and I'm sure I'll do it many times more in my life, and I'm sure you will as well. So this is the energy of this evening. I suppose everyone is doing some intense shadow work, or at least people seeing this, at least the people to whom this resonates, or with whom this resonates, whatever. You know what I mean? Because you can't celebrate with this anymore. You can't celebrate with these people because you don't know what you'd be celebrating. You're in a position where you don't know who you are, and you need to break free of everything you've ever thought, everything you've ever felt you've known, and every aspect of yourself that all of these people seem to worship, to listen to. Because they need to listen to who you really are. That's why this is reversed. You need to move into the future. You can't live in the past. You can't just sit here on this throne forever. because it's clearly not helping you. With that empty cup, just staring off into the distance blankly, like there's nothing in you. You need to find that in you. And it intrigues me that the Lovers comes out next, and I think this is about self-love. This is about finding yourself and learning to love yourself in the process. This is, you know, in that Hangman energy, you are in a period of meditation that you put yourself in willingly. And right now, I think that the folks with whom this resonates, you're doing that to learn how to love yourself. You're trying to learn who you are as opposed to who you were. You're looking for this sun because you're sick of seeing nothing but illusions. You're ready to break it. You're ready to break those illusions down and recognize the parts of yourself that you love and find out what they were, why you forgot them, and how to get it back, or how to learn what it is, and how to pour into your own cup in the process, or learn to love yourself by pouring into your own cup. It goes both ways. This is a reciprocal energy with yourself, because they can't know you until you know who you are. And that brings us to the Ace of Wands in reverse. And this just cements to me that you don't really know who you are right now. They don't really know who you are right now. To them, they have this idea, this idealized version of who you are, who they want you to be. But to you, that idea is not correct. And you've reached a point where you don't know. And that's why you're putting yourself in this Hangman energy. That's why you're getting up and going on this journey, because you want to find out. You really want to find out. Because you're the Emperor in reverse. You haven't been able to manage who you really are and how people see you. They look to you as if you are this strong emperor, capable of doing anything, put on some kind of pedestal, like some sort of dreamland figure that no one can ever truly be, okay? And it can also be commanding, domineering. Maybe you feel as if their view of you is dominating the concept of who you really are. And you can't do it anymore. You need to get out of here. This empire was built on sand, and you need to find solid ground to rebuild, because that's the only way you're really going to find yourself love. It's the only way you're going to be able to get out of this Hangman energy once you finally truly learn who you are instead of who they keep telling you you are, or who they keep wanting you to be. And that is what leads us to the Eight of Swords in reverse. And I love seeing this. I absolutely love seeing this, and I'm going to tell you why right now. If you look, these legs are free to walk away at any time. These bindings, nothing, just move your arms out. This blindfold, shake your head. All of these swords, they're stuck into the ground. They cannot hurt you. When this is upright, this is putting yourself in this period of bondage. This is holding yourself back. This is keeping yourself in this place of pain. And clearly, you're done doing that. You're absolutely done doing that. That's not what you want anymore. You want to find who you really are so you can let all of that go. And you're really starting to do that. You're really starting to let that go. You're starting to walk away, because you can just walk forward at any point. There's no sword in front of you. And you're realizing that now. And these may be what everyone thinks you are, what they feel like they know. And you're walking away from that because you want to know yourself. You're moving towards finding your own sword. You don't want just this wand, this idea, this daydream, this brief inspiration, this, oh, you know, maybe this is who I am now. You want to know who you are. You want to truly know yourself so you can feel like you have resources, so you can recognize your transformation instead of being trapped here. You're going into Hangman mode right now, but this is showing me that going into hangman mode is going to work, and you'll be able to take yourself out of it and feel free for once in a long, long time. That's why I like to read so much from the bottom of the deck. This went a lot longer than I wanted it to. After today, I'm trying to keep my readings under 15 minutes instead of up to like half an hour. But this was quite a lot. This was quite a lot, I think. So if this resonated with you, if this in any way struck a chord of some kind, if you really, really, if it brought out any emotional response in you whatsoever, or even made you think of someone you know, please hit the like button. Please subscribe to see more of me doing this. And in the comments, let me know if you would like me to do more nightly readings to see our shadow work, because I think that's what a nightly reading is going to become. It's the shadow work we need to do. Our daily readings are, our day-to-day adventures, what's going on in our lives in general, but nightly readings are what's going on behind the scenes and what we need to work on and how far into working on it we are, because that's what I'm getting so far from this reading alone, and I love it. I'm living for this. I love this for you. I really do. I love this for you. Finding yourself, recognizing what doesn't serve you, and moving forward to heal yourself and learn about yourself and really get to know yourself again. So, like I said, please like, comment if you want. I mean, you can also just comment like your favorite food, where you're from, give me the worst joke you know, because I love terrible jokes. I can start. What is a houseware? A dress. Like I said, I love terrible jokes. So you can just leave something a little less heavy if you'd like. And please subscribe and hit that little bell so that when I do something like this again, you can hear it. And when I do a general daily read, like I'm going to do tomorrow, so in probably 12 hours or so, you can be the first to hear about that. And when I'm working with your sign and giving you, your specific daily read, you can find out. And if you want to get a personal reading from me, all of that information is going to be down below in the description box, with any other information you may need, so including the decks that I use. So that's always pretty nifty. But clearly today we used the Rider-Waite, the classic, because starting something new, wanted to go with something very classic, something we can all understand already before we jump into this new realm. And I'm sure other people have done this, but I haven't, so it's new to me. So all of that said, this is what I have for you today. I love you very much. I appreciate that you spent this time with me. I appreciate that you chose to watch this, that you allowed me to be your reader for this evening. And I hope you are well on your journey. I'm very proud of you for doing this. And you can share this to somebody you feel may resonate with this as well. It does help grow my reach, and it does help grow the channel. And I am hoping to send out messages that do help people and resonate, and allow you to see your spiritual, your inner journey a little more clearly. Because, sometimes we all need help, and personally I find the magic cardboard very useful for that. So, like I said, you can do all of those things. I love you. I appreciate your time. I appreciate that you chose to spend time with me, and this is what we got for tonight. And it certainly is something. So, with all of that said, bye!